Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Fake Order. Ich bin jetzt eurem Simmerfix. Keine große Erklärung, kein gar nichts. Beim letzten Mal hat sich unser ganzes Team geopfert. Chio, Corday, verdammt, den habe ich beim letzten Mal vergessen. Bartholomew, Hector, der beschworen wurde, nachdem Achilles ihn gerufen hat. Alle sind sie gestorben um uns herum. Ricardo hier hatte Durandal genutzt, um uns vor Artemis Waffe zu schützen. Und, Leute, tut mir leid, das ist mir beim letzten Mal sehr nahe gegangen und immer noch. Und Paris hat sich hier nun mit der Kraft von Apollo in einem Pfeil gewandelt. Es sah so aus, als wäre alle Hoffnung zu Ende. Doch nun ist die Zeit gekommen, dass er seinen Namen recht macht. Unser Orion hat nun einen Pfeil, ein Pfeil, um die Liebe seines Lebens hier zu retten. Ein Pfeil, der uns den Weg nach Olympus freimacht, der die Zukunft für die Menschheit weismacht. Dieser Pfeil liegt allen in Hoffnung auf den Leichen unserer Freunde, die sich geopfert haben, uns diese Möglichkeit zu gewähren. Es ist Zeit, eine Göttin vom Himmel zu holen. Und ich weiß nicht, ob ich das emotional aushalte, Leute, Mann. Ricardo, wie gesagt. Ach, Leute, Mann, das war so. Nächste Spirit Ocean, die hier verschwindet, Mann. Unser Freund. It's now time to mourn your friend's death, Maxie. Now then, if you excuse me, I'm going to go on ahead too. Why is that? You say, because I'm going to use everything I got to transform Paris here. And that means my cute sheep will safely disappear too. Master, thank you for everything. But I didn't do anything. Of course you did. You let me see my brother again. Oh, but please, don't be upset. There are difference between giving up and your life for a cause and just throwing it away. I never would have chosen to do it if there had been any other way. But right here, right now, this is something only I can do. So I'm going to fight. I might not look at it, but I'm a hero too after all. Good luck, Orion. I'm counting on you to finish this. I know. Don't worry. But you're already falling apart. You can't even move a single finger on your right hand anymore. I don't see how you can. Well, what are you waiting for, Maxie? Befehlshaber? What do you think das Command-Space for? Leute, mein Gott, ich verstehe mich. Ich hab's gewusst, Mann. Go on, get Orion back on his feet that are powering as the ends. Use them all up if you have to. Yes, I know. He can barely move right now, so I'm sure it's going to be painful. But when you're a hero, sometimes you have to stand up for what you are fighting for, no matter what. Surely you must have seen that by now, over the course of these 5 Lostbelts. Master! By my command spell. Orion, leg los! Mit aller Kraft, die wir in unserem Körper haben. Rette die Frau, die du geliebt hast. Alright. I don't know if it's actually working or not, but I do feel a lot better now, thanks. I sure hope you're feeling better because it's working. Just kidding. Well, do you think you can pull it off this time? Yeah, I definitely can. Paris? Right. Danke, Paris. Auf Wiedersehen, Apollo. Danke, ihr beiden. Ein letztes Mal. This was more fun than I expected, humans. Thanks. Artemis! His call rang out to the heavens like a lion's roar. Am I here right now because I'm a grand servant? Er hat's gesagt, Mann! Or because I'm the man who shot down a goddess? I bet it's both. I renounce my grand status so that I might finally shoot down Artemis, the moon goddess. Renouncing your grand status? Now I see. I won't let you fall for anyone else but me. Nobody else but me can wield this bow. Nobody else but me can bring you down. I was summoned here of my own volition, and I'm aiming my shot at you of my own volition too. Orion knocks her arrows, but the light of death that Ricardo held back comes bearing towards him once more. He simply looks up at it and smiles, a fierce, indomitable smile. Nein, Nein, ich halte es nicht aus. I want to ask you something. What is it? I acquired your memories from when you were alive and compared them to a recent scan of your brain. Hey, don't go peering into other people's memories. They're supposed to be private. That other me, the Artemis you see in your world. Why does she appear to be enjoying herself so much? That? Yes, that. That's because she's in love with me. At least I think so. I don't know why, but that memory irritates me. Would you mind if I took it? Yes, I would. How unpleasant, yet unpleasant as it is, and also fascinating. That's right. You're broken. You were broken long ago. You must have hit your limit forever ago. You must have broken down ages ago. You've been drifting around the sky by yourself for 10,000 years without anything to brighten your day. You could not even conceive of asking for help anymore, all because you're a goddess. I should have realized it sooner. I was a fool for refusing to do this, all because I didn't want to hurt you. And you're a fool too, for wishing you didn't have to hurt anyone. I think that's the key difference between you here and you in proper human history. All of you should have come down to earth, even if it meant you'd end up hurting others or getting hurt yourself. So get ready, Artemis! Because I'm about to hurt the hell out of you! He pulls back the string on the bow forged by a god. He draws back the golden arrow made by transforming a rook spirit's body. You've been up there alone for too long, Artemis. It's time you calm down. The man who renounces his grand status call out to the goddess floating high above him. Don't worry, I'll be right here, falling with you. Sein Körper, das macht nicht mit. So many who escaped their lives, so could come this far. Francis Drake, Moira Kitime, Charlie Cole, Bartholomew Roberts, Achilles, Hector, Menricado, Paris, Apollo. All of their sacrifices were leading up to this moment. Noble phantasm. His third noble phantasm, in one that shouldn't even exist. It could only be achieved by a servant renouncing grand status, wielding a bow forged by a god with an arrow made from a rogue spirit. An arrow he fires not out of hatred, nor conflict, nor hostility, nor with the desire to kill. With compassion and love. Ortugia, amore mio! A lone arrow fired for the sole purpose of felling the moon goddess. Artemis soon realized there was nothing she could do to react in time. Neither intercepting the arrow nor evading it were plausible options. Firing, shooting, Sartugia. Even so, she chose to return fire. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? I don't understand. Myself, I don't understand this conclusion I've reached. I can't understand why. He's doing this, Cedar. Why is he trying to kill me? Why did he break his oath in order to fight me? Why did he aim his arrow at me? I figured it out. I figured it out way back then. You weren't acting rational when you blew up your terminal and the island she was on. You were acting emotionally. You were angry and jealous. Things you would never feel if you were just a machine. Which means the past 10,000 years must have been unbearably for you. Did you really think I could stand seeing you in such a content distress? The golden light tore through the divine blast and kept sailing on. Orion's noble phantasm raced towards its destination with speed and power unlike anything the world had ever seen. It was an arrow created solely for Artemis, an arrow fired out of his love for her. An arrow more powerful than anything. An arrow that would ignore all of Artemis' defenses, evade every unfair obstacle in its path, and find its way to her core with unfailing accuracy. Du hast es geschafft, Junge. Du hast es geschafft, Teddybär. I realized everything the moment it struck me. He truly had to put everything he had into his arrow in order to fire it. This arrow is Orion's very essence, a noble phantasm activated at the cost of his own life to destroy the goddess of the moon. But in it there's not a trace of any mercy to be found. This arrow was kind, merciful, compassionate, soulful, mournful, loving. This word here is the essential trait of proper human history, and a crucial way we differ from it. This man Orion loved our god as a sequel. It's a detestable fact. No good should ever fall, especially at the hands of a human. And yet, the moment I felt jealous was the moment I truly lost. If I made all my separate units act independently, and detach the ones that were destroyed, I might still be able to stay in orbit and remain minimum believable firepower. But I can't do anything. No, I've taken this arrow. This arrow is pure love. Not I've been struck. There's nothing left but to fall for it. I know that Orion is from proper human history. I know he fell in love with Artemis of his world. I know it isn't actually me that he lost. But all the same, I was so happy that he cared enough to aim his laugh at me. Hey, why won't you join me in eternity? 'Cause it's boring. But death is so ugly and horrible. Aren't you afraid of it? If you become a god, that could solve everything. I like the idea of ascending to the stars, but no, becoming a god isn't for me. Even though we could love each other for all of time? Today will come when we go our separate ways and our love comes to an end. It'll be sad when that happens, but it's all part of being human. I don't get it. Well, of course you don't. I mean, no offense, it's just... You're a god. You have a different way of seeing their world. There's nothing wrong with that. But humans see... I see the world differently. I think if I became a god, I'd regret it eventually. But aren't your prospect of eternal life and beauty sounds appealing? If you stay human, your body and soul will both grow old and feeble one day. Yeah, I might come to regret that too. But no, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Especially since, one day, the fact that I'm part of humanity might come to be pretty important. Though that's just a hunch. So you're throwing away your chance at eternity on a hunch? What a horrible human you are. But that might be for the best. Hey, if I ever need help as a god, will you come save me as a human? Dass sie auch noch die Felix Teller Musik genommen haben. That's right. You will, won't you? You're an arrogant, foolish human, overflowing with ridiculous sentiment. That's all true, but it's also why it is so beautiful to me. All units shutting down. At last I can finally sleep. She feels herself falling apart. She was supposed to be indestructible, yet here she is crumbling to pieces. The moon god is forced to ruin out of sin, nor out of punishment, but out of love. Das auf Kosten eines besonders liebenswerten Teddybärs. Did you do it? Yeah, I destroyed her. My party is done now. I know it'll be hard for you to go on without me. It'll be painful and sad too, but even so... we keep getting back up. Exactly! Last master of Earth! Man, this guy really doesn't belong to her anymore, does it? Part of me is gonna miss her, but this is how it should be. I can't thank you enough, Master. I couldn't have saved her without you. Oh, and one more word of warning. Grand servants are usually summoned for a really good, specific reason. So be careful, cause no matter what you run into, I won't be able to help you anymore. You see what I'm getting at? Hey! How about one last handshake before I go? Gerne. Egal, ob du das zum Wickeln nimmst oder was immer. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with crying. But don't spend your time looking back either. All of history made up of cycles repeating like that. Someday, you'll be passing the baton on someone else too, like directed. And when you do, you'll find you're the proudest you've been in your whole life. That's right. I'm really proud of you. No, not just you. I'm proud of the whole of history that you created. After all, you picked up your baton and run with it far enough for us to get here. I'm sorry I can't stick around till this is all over. But between you and Mesh, I know you make do. Alright then. Get going to Olympus. I've got a long overdue date with Artemis. Goodbye, Trista. You're filling out that name now? Okay, it's a little embarrassing, but I'll take it. Alright. As for the rest of you at Chaldea and the Wandering Sea, make sure you really give it your all, as you back up Maxi and Mesh here. Naturally, they continue to have our full support. Oh, and you there, Patchy guy. Wait, you mean me? Why you command on my physique? Who else could I mean? Anyway, thanks. You gave me the kick I needed to get back up again. Well, of course, any commander worth his salt would have done the same. That went straight to your head, didn't it? Remember, Maxi, they only used his command spells because I ordered him to. So don't forget about that, either. Good point. You know something. I thought if I managed to make Artemis fall, I'd end up disappearing all by my lonesome. I never thought I'd get us sent off like this, with tears and laughter and good company. Not gonna lie, it felt pretty great. This is exactly what an adventure is supposed to be like, and I know the others would all agree. Drake. Team. Das macht mich so fertig, Mann. Das geht einfach nicht mehr, Mann. Jason. Der Einzige, der noch lebt. Bartholomew. Achilles. Das heißt, der verkackte Hector, Mann. Der gar nicht mal so verkackte Hector. Mein bester Freund Monte-Carlo. Paris. Und natürlich auch O'Brien. From here on it's all up to you. Der Grand Archer hat seine Vision erfüllt. Alright. Let's go. I anchored Stoneboard at the island's northeast point. Come meet us there when you're ready. Remember, we still have another god left to fight. Poseidon. Okay. Ah, wie er es gemacht. Okay, I'm ready. Right, okay, Master. Let's get going. Jason? Jason! Keep it around, will you? The last thing I need is more ringing in my ears. You're alive! Damn right, I am. Not my fault you forgot. You're ahead of Poseidon's domain next, right? I'll come with you. Well, what are you waiting for? This is the part where you say something mean to me as if you'd be any help, or I wish Achilles had survived instead. Why would we ever say anything of the sort? Enough with their persecution complex. Given our current circumstances, isn't it obvious that we are glad you're still alive and willing to help? Come on, Nazan. Let's go, man! Well then, I suppose I can at least go with you to face Poseidon. But, no, never mind. It'll be clear enough once we get there. At any rate, we should be on our way. Let's get going. Was er schon wieder gemeint hat, ich weiß es eigentlich gar nicht. Ich will es auch gar nicht wissen, Leute. Also, es war jetzt nicht so, dass mir jetzt wirklich die Tränen gekommen sind, so wie zum Beispiel damals bei Napoleon oder es war einfach wirklich, weil die uns alle gesagt haben, hey, vielleicht sterben wir hier. Vielleicht geht es hier zu Ende. Aber alles, damit ihr weitermachen könnt. Und jeder hat hier bis zum Ende gekämpft, Mann. Und Achilles. Und ich sage, selbst Hector ist in meine Sympathie gestiegen, Mann. Ich glaub's nicht, Mann. Und der Einzige, der nur noch fehlt, ist Chiron und Poseidon. Liebe Leute. Es war, bevor wir hier losgesegelt sind, waren wir noch deutlich voller. Welcome back, guys! I wouldn't say I'm back, I'd say I'm here as a guest, that's it. Let's not sweep the details, shall we? What are you looking at me for, that, Holmes? Go on, get out of here, shoo. I do beg your pardon, odd trade habits. At any rate, it is most encouraging to have you back here. Don't flatter me, detective. We both know you don't mean it. Anyway, let's set sail for the Great Pit. Gleich haben wir's. Hey Maxi, could you take a look at the Tree of Emptiness through the periscope for me? Got it. Okay, mitten in den endlosen Strom. Do you see anything, Master? There's something off about the Tree of Emptiness. Ach, vielleicht weil sie nicht bewegt. I put it up the periscope feed on the monitor. Vielleicht weil er nicht so wabert? I don't see anything unusual about it. Well, I suppose it might be a little... Huh? What the... It's transparent, just as I thought. It's a mirage. Was? Wie? Wo? You thought this might be the case? Ah, so that's what was on your mind earlier. Precisely. The Tree of Emptiness is an illusion, and therefore impossible to cut down. Then what does this mean? Der Wadebaum ist in Olympus, das war eigentlich klar. The interstellar metropolis of Mount Olympus does not exist in the sky. Quite the opposite. Es ist unterhalb. It exists deep beneath Earth's surface. Was? But, the only way to make any sense of it is her hollow Earth theory were correct. And the nonsense was this proven ages ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in an investigation I conducted earlier, I learned that there's also a great spirit graveyard deep beneath the clock tower now. You mean the spiritual tomb of Albion? Okay, yes, there is that, but come on. There's a big difference between the ground of the clock tower and a giant hollow in the middle of the Atlantic. I suppose this just goes as to show the power of fully blossomed Tree of Emptiness possess. Apparently it is even capable of flying a space that could normally never exist into reality. In this Lostbelt, whatever lies down that hole is the true face of reality. This is also explains why Kirishida's domain is the most expansive. Considering how we use magecraft to expand the shadow border's interior beyond its physique dimensions, it stands to reason that a caster who excels at territory creation will be able to expand the domain. That said, a feat like this is akin to turning Earth itself into an enormous container. It truly is a display of power on a completely different scale. Then, cutting down the Tree of Emptiness we are seeing here would be indeed meaningless. As such, there's only one option available to us. Instead of going up, we will have to straight down in the Great Pit. I expect that's also where we find Poseidon, the last god of Olympus. We'll be diving down and heading towards that big hole, huh? Fine by me. That keeps things nice and simple. Why, easy there. Heading for the hole is all well and good, but we don't want to, fall in, right? You know that. I know that, don't worry. I will approach it slowly and so we can get a good idea of... Oh, wir werden eingeloggt, das war so klar. Das war so klar, Mann. What the... That's incredible powerful coordination for pulling us toward the great pit. There you see. What did I tell you? Quick, head to the surface. No resisting will only put the stormboard under unnecessary use. As they say nowadays, I believe you should quite literally go with the flow here. But what happens when we fall into the hole? Don't worry. I've read this right and believe I have. Then we won't fall to our deaths. I believe this is Poseidon's way of inviting us to see him. Well, Commander, what do you say? Just this mean weather, I say now. We are clearly already headed on the route. We're gonna fall, said during an ear-pierced scream. So it'll be like going on a roller coaster. Yes, Master, that's right. I've never been on a roller coaster myself, of course. But I have a feeling this is going to be much worse than anything out there. Fool! Well, everyone, I have some good news. We finally arrived at the Great Pit. All that's left now is to fall down it. Oh! Leute, Mann, das war ein furchtbares Kapitel, Mann. Ein dramatisches Kapitel hoch 20 und wir haben eigentlich nur unseren Freund beim Sterben zugeschaut. Und das ist ehrlich gesagt das Schlimmste an dieser ganzen Sache. Ja. Das heißt, mein Ricardo. Leute, Mann, das muss sein. Leute, das muss derbe sein. Sie müssen alle gegradet werden, Mann. Am besten alle. Also, okay, Hector vielleicht jetzt nicht, aber fast alle. Oh, Leute, 3 Tiere. Ladies and Gentlemen, beim nächsten Mal beginnen wir dann mit dem Grande Finale. Es ist Zeit, den Gott der Meere persönlich zu treffen. Wir werden beim nächsten Mal unterhalb des Baums der Lehre gehen, den Tree of Emptiness, und werden hier Poseidon, den letzten Gott hier, der hier in Atlantis ist, erst besiegen. Und dann werden wir nach Olympus reisen. Doch bevor wir jetzt zu dem Grande Finale gehen, machen wir noch mal einen kleinen Cut und beim nächsten Mal geht's dann los mit dem finalen Kapitel von Fake Grand Order Atlantis. Bis dahin, rein auf Wiedersehen.